welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen and you are in Mama's Reading Nook. Today's video is my TBR for the Magical Readathon. So if you don't know what the Magical Readathon is, I'm going to do my absolute best to explain it to you, but I highly suggest if you are interested, you go to Book Rose page. G is the one that does this every year. She starts it and she's runs it, and she has Google documents and she has ways for you to track your books, ways to track where you're at on the syllabus, all of that. She has all of it. So I highly suggest, if this is something that is interesting to you, to follow her and to watch the videos, because she goes into a lot more in-depth kind of what we're doing. I started this in the spring. I had a couple videos where I was talking about the Magical Readathon and my character and what my character was doing. And so we are all participants at Orilium Academy, which is in a fictional fantasy world of Eldea. I can never say it right. I have my little synopsis here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read from it because I'm just not good at remembering things. So every year the Readathon runs in April for the spring equinox, which is what I did, and that's what started me on my path. And August, which is the autumn equinox, which is what we're starting in August, which is what this Magical TBR is all about, with side events that are lighter in prompts, such as Lightfall in December. Every Magical Readathon event is optional to participate in, though there's a timeline participants can follow for maximum story. Participants may join the Readathon at any time and may create multiple characters for it. They can even change a character's field of study during a semester. The Readathon is intended to provide a fun environment for reading. While participants are not required to complete every step of the Readathon since its inception, the steps are outlined for clarity. So that is one of the documents that you can find on G's Google Drive. And so basically you create a character and you read through the brief history of Aleda and the magical world that we all live in. You pick a continent or a province that your character is from. Select the character's heritage, you determine your character's background, and then you pick a lunar phase for your character, like when they were born. So then you complete your Scholar's Key character sheet. So let me show you mine. So my character, her name is Rowan Isabel Hartley. If you can see her down there. That's what she looked like in the spring. I'll show you what she looks like for the fall. But Rowan was born during a lunar eclipse to her parents, Elsa and Gabriel Hartley. Her mother died during childbirth, leaving Rowan and Gabriel alone. Gabriel tried to raise Rowan the way her mother would have wanted, leaving the busy continent of Parador to move to a small human community in Etheria. Rowan grew up around ancient tombs, nature, and amazing wildlife. She grew to love animals and wanted to take care of them and learn all she could. True to her lunar personality, Rowan is intuitive, logical, and compassionate. She is a true and loyal companion with a drive to be the best at whatever she does. Her compassion, while steadfast, does tend to extend more to animals than other humans or beings she comes into contact with. This compassion is what led her to Phoenix, her fox companion and familiar. When Rowan was barely a teenager, she was exploring the forest and the world around her community when she came across a hawk attacking a fox cub who clearly lost its mother. She scared off the hawk and nursed the fox back to health. Unique in his coloring and appearance, Phoenix is missing one ear, a constant reminder of what happened. Rowan received her conduits, which are swords, from her father, who explained that they belonged to her mother. Once Rowan was accepted to the academy and the Crescent Guild, she knew she wanted to study to be a beastmaster and learn all she could. With Phoenix at her side, she heads for spring semester to learn all she can and maybe make some friends along the way. So that is Rowan. So as you can see, her guild is the Crescent Guild, and she's going to be a beastmaster. She's studying to be a beastmaster. And then her swords, which is like a magical conduit, were from her mother. So that is Rowan for you. So the guilds are the 4 arcane groups that specialize in magical concepts. These include the House of the Arcane, the Archivists, Order of the Crescent, and the Mindwalkers. And each guild has its own unique calling, conduit, and legacy, which only the members of that guild may choose. So yeah, that's kind of what Rowan was up to spring semester. So during the spring semester, I had to take 5 classes, and each class had a prompt for a book that you read to in order to complete that class. So for the spring semester, I had to take alchemy, animal studies, elemental studies, lore, and restoration. And for each of those, they each had a prompt. So alchemy, metal in the name, animal studies, Flip a coin, heads nonfiction, tails fiction. Elemental studies was flowers on the cover. Lore was a book with a map. Restoration was close your eyes, shuffle, and point. And so for alchemy, I did the Iron King. For animal studies, I did anatomy. For elemental studies, I did the Inheritance of Orquina da Vida. For restoration, I did What Moves the Dead. And then for lore, I did A Court of Mist and Fury. So that was my TBR for spring. So that was how I started becoming a Beastmaster. So this semester is a little different, fall semester. And so we are still all taking classes. We are still all working towards our decided calling, which for me, like I said, is a Beastmaster. And so the syllabus is set up just a little bit different. So basically, you're trying to excel even more. So in order for me to become a Beastmaster, I have to take specific classes, and in those specific classes are certain letters. So O for ordinary, Q for qualified, and D for distinguished. If, say, you need an O in a class, that's one book, you're good, and you got it. If you need a Q in a class, that's 2 books or 2 prompts. That's all you have to do. But if you need a D in a class, you have to do all 3, whether it's 3 books, 3 prompts, 3 activities, anything like that. And so that is what I'm doing, and that, my friends, is what this TBR is all about. Let's get into it. For fall, I have to take alchemy, animal studies, elemental studies, and restoration. And then I'm doing 2 little side quests. I am going to be attempting to get my dragon riding license and become an apothecary keeper. So with this readathon, there's all kinds of little extra things you can do to enhance the experience of what's going on and to work your way farther into Orilium Academy and to make a name for yourself as your character. She always gives you these different prompts that you can do. There's all kinds of other things I think going on, and she just kind of says, okay, here you go. Here's something for you. Let's see if you can advance. And so I have to take all of those classes, and I'm getting my dragon rider's license and becoming an apothecary keeper. So there you go. There you have it. Okay, so let's get into the actual physical TBR. So I have my computer here because remembering things is not always my cup of tea. To make this simple, I started with what I just need 1 prompt for. Okay, so for alchemy I needed O for ordinary, and same with elemental studies. I needed O for ordinary. So for alchemy, the O is stone to copper, which is the first in a series. So for that one, we're gonna do A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I have been dying to read this entire series. I have not read it yet, and I am such a fan of these covers. So I'm gonna dive into this lovely little world, and it is the first in a series. I don't know much about it. I know that there's a guy named Kel, and he's a magician, and he travels through different Londons, and he has a red cloak, but I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I've heard wonderful, wonderful things, and so I'm excited to dive into that one. And then for elemental studies, I need an ordinary, which is the element of earth, which is a book with the word earth in the title. So after getting lots and lots and lots of recommendations, I'm going to read The Girl from Earth's End by Tara Dearman. I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry if I butcher that. I don't know anything about this book. It's a middle grade, so it should be a really quick read because the words are really big and it's not that many pages, which is kind of nice. And it follows 12-year-old Henna, who lives on Earth's End, the smallest and remotest settlement in the Gardenia Isles. I don't know anything about it, so we're gonna have some fun with it together. I have discovered that sometimes maybe I don't necessarily want to know what the book is about. That's what this is. So the next class, I guess, has 3 books because it's animal studies, which means if I want to be a Beastmaster, I have to excel in animal studies, right? So for that, I do have to get an O, a Q, and a D. So the prompt for O is Introduction to Domestic Creatures, which is pet pick. So if you saw in my last vlog, is it my last vlog or this is the vlog? In one of my vlogs, you will see a video. I'll try to show it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You'll see a video of my dog Reese's eating a treat off of a book. And that is how my pet picked what the book is for that particular, for that prompt. And she picked book eaters. I've been wanting to read this book. I've heard wonderful things about this book. I've been waiting for it to get my hands on it. And so I don't know much about it, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a little spooky, which I'm okay with. And so yeah, I'm excited. This will be fun. So then for Q, I need a debut book. And so I picked The Collected Regrets of Clover by Mickey Brammer. I know that she is a death doula and she is determined to make people's last days on earth or in the world good and to give them a great death, and she ends up forgetting about life in the process. I'm excited to read that as a debut novel. And then last, I have to do D, which is Bicorn Wolf Care, which is read a book in 2 days. In order to make that happen, I knew I need a short book. And so I will be reading Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire. This is the second book in the Wayward Children series, which I'm really enjoying. I am sure I will also enjoy this one, but it's short, and so this will be easy to read. Hopefully I'll be able to read it in 2 days. If not, there's something wrong with me. So then restoration, I need O and Q. O for restoration is start a book before bed. So I should be able to do that, not a problem. I have so many books that I could start before bed. And then Q is relocating pain. Read a book in a different spot each time you pick it up. And so for restoration, I don't have my hands on it yet, but I'm gonna read Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I am waiting for it through the library. This is actually a book club pick, and so we are going to be reading it all together, and I'm very excited, and I'm very excited that I was able to slip it into this because I have heard amazing things about this book, and I'm really, really looking forward to reading it. All right, so that, my friends, is all of my classes that I have to take. Now, in order to I'm trying to get to the end here, dragon writing license and to become an apothecary keeper, right? So in order to get your dragon riding license, it says the dragon riding school is once again open. Have you always dreamt of soaring the skies on the back of a mighty dragon? Now you can. Sign up today and you might be the next dragon rider on call. Training consists of a 5-month theory assessment covering dragon etiquette and 2-month practical flying course. During this time, you will learn about the traditions and appearances of different dragon races, as well as work alongside dragon tamers and learning the best techniques for communicating with, saddling, and mounting the beasts. If successful, you will be awarded 5 years standard dragon license. If successful, you will be awarded a 5-year standard dragon riding license, recognized and valid all over Aladia. It has, technically I'd have to say 3 requirements, but it says 2 requirements, which is to read 2 books with dragons and to watch a movie or show with a dragon. The 2 books that I will be reading in order to get my dragon riding license is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. I want to read this book so desperately, and now I have it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I have to read it. And then also I will be reading Fourth Wing. This book is a chunker, but I'm very, very, very excited to read it. I've heard wonderful things. Actually, in all honesty, I have heard different things from different people. Some people really like it, some people really hate it. So I feel like it's either you love it or you hate it type situation, right? I would assume, right? I'm hoping I love it. And then for the TV show or movie, I will be watching How to Train Your Dragon. I love this movie. I will watch this movie on repeat as much as possible. And Toothless is adorable, and if I had a Toothless, I would be the happiest person on the planet. Not to mention, Toothless reminds me a lot of my younger dog, just constantly hyper and bouncing and happy. If you have not seen this movie, you should see it. It's adorable. And an excuse, I can watch it with my kids. We'll make it a movie night. So then in order to become an apothecary keeper, an exciting opportunity has arisen for those wishing to try their hand at one of the oldest professions out there. Our apothecary shop is looking for a part-time keeper. The right candidate will be able to tell a foxtail and a faux tail blooms apart with their eyes closed. This is included in the interview test, and will be very familiar with most common and rare herbs, weeds, flowers, and animal parts, as well as their combinations, common uses, and medicinal properties. Further, apprenticeship under our famous house healer is available. We specialize in healing and recreational concoctions. This is a customer-facing role, but can be adjusted for the right person and talent. Herbologists in training are preferred, however, all applicants are welcome. So the requirements for this are to read 2 books with plants on the cover and find, document, take pictures, and share at least 5 different flowers online. This will give me an excuse to get out in nature, which is one of my 2023 goals, is to walk and do more walking and to get out in nature more, and so that will help me. Of course, it's happening in August, which happens to be one of the hottest months in the state of Missouri, but we'll see how it goes. And then for the 2 books, I will be reading Mexican Gothic because, again, I'm in the mood for spook, I'm in the mood for creep, and so this is gonna probably hit all of that. And look, there's a little plant on the cover. She's got some, I think those are dandelions. I could be wrong though. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about this book, and I've heard that Sylvia Moreno Garcia is a fantastic author. So I'm very looking forward to reading this. And then the second book that I will be reading to become an apothecary keeper is This Poison Heart by Kaylin, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Bayron. Again, another middle grade. So hopefully I will be able to, well, I guess it's young adult. I found it in the young adult section. So hopefully I will be able to read this, no problem. I've heard wonderful things about this as well. Again, I don't know much about it, but that's okay. I kind of like going into books more surprised than knowing what's coming. You know what I mean? So there you have it. That, my friends, is my TBR for the Magical Readathon. Again, if you're really, really curious, because I know I did not do a great job explaining it, please feel free to follow Book Roast. G is wonderful. She's extremely sweet. She has really great videos. This whole readathon is just amazing to me because it is so creative. The idea is so creative. I love the idea of being in a magical academy. I love fantasy, and so this is just exactly what I need. And I'm very excited to move towards my Beastmaster's license and my dragon riding license. And I know that this isn't real, but let me tell you how much fun it is. I realize I've not shown you an updated picture of Rowan, so boop, here is Rowan for fall. She's ready to go. She's very excited, and she has so much to look forward to. And you can see she still has the pink. She still is ready to go. She dyed her hair red for the fall. She's ready. She's ready, and I'm very excited. So again, like I said, if you are at all curious about the Magical Readathon and what it really is all about, and more about Orilium Academy, and more about the townships that we all live in, and all about all of that, please, please, please follow Book Roast and join in as best you can. I was overwhelmed at first, and I really told myself I was not going to participate in fall, but I can't help myself. This is gonna be so much fun, and I'm so excited, and a bunch of my friends are doing it too, so we're all chatting, we're having a good time with it. It's great. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Be sure to follow me in August because that's what most of my vlogs are going to be about. There is going to be another readathon that I am participating in August as well, which I will film a TBR for that as well. And hopefully I can make some of these books fit those prompts. We'll see. So I hope you okay? I will catch up with you later, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Starting to grow old, and I thought my youth would last forever.